In May 2001, the exhibition, The Treasury of the World, opened at the British Museum, curated by Emmanuel Keane and Salam Khouji, accompanied by this exhibition book. It's perhaps difficult now for anyone who doesn't closely follow this much less frequented path in the field of Mughal art to appreciate quite what a landmark exhibition this was. Literally nothing on this scale had been seen in a public institution before. Major museums, of course, had in their own Mughal collections perhaps a handful of objects, all very well known and often reproduced. So if you go, for instance, to the British Museum or to the Victoria and Albert Museum, you will see in their galleries a small group of important objects, but nothing on the scale of what was being seen in this exhibition. It had an astonishing 297 objects. It included gold-inlaid weapons as well as jeweled objects, arranged in 13 sections. Emmanuel Keane wrote in his introduction to the catalogue, "The formation of this collection has been one of Sheikh Nasser's most persistent preoccupations over the past quarter of a century, and it is impossible to overstate the degree to which his activity has been of a pioneering character." This was a deeply felt comment, but it wasn't remotely an exaggeration. Only a very small number of the pieces on display, like this unique enameled ring support for a spherical hooker base, had been exhibited and published before. The vast majority of the pieces were entirely unknown, and to see so many of them all in the same space was a truly remarkable event. Manuel kindly gave a small group of jewelry fanatics a sneak preview, and I still vividly remember the excitement of walking into the exhibition space in the British Museum and being absolutely dazzled. The dagger that you see here had been exhibited before, but I'd never seen it, and the piece on the left, a scabbard mount, had never been published. The technical commentary on the dagger and its scabbard, written by Manuel, records that they are set with 1,685 rubies, 271 diamonds, 62 emeralds, as well as minute pieces of colored glass, also enumerated. And I just love the idea of Manuel sitting for probably days, if not weeks, counting each stone. Similarly unknown and unpublished was a jade pencase, which as far as I know is a unique form in this material. And one bittersweet encounter for me was this set, which you've just seen, that came up on the London art market, and William described the persistence of Sheikh Nasser's attempts and successful purchase of it. I'd tried and obviously failed to acquire it for the V&A, but it was a consolation to see that it had gone to such a good home. And it's definitely a great advantage to be able to examine it next to the other enameled objects of varying periods, also in the collection. The exhibition contained some extraordinary unmounted precious stones that had retained their original Mughal cuts, forms, and decoration, including extremely rare Mughal diamonds, of which this is one. And the detail of the V&A painting of Shah Jahan that you see next to him, Shah Jahan as a prince, shows him holding a turban jewel set with a diamond that may actually be the very same one. Now, I'm usually skeptical about such comparisons, but I do think here it probably is. But the stone that sent Mughal jewelry historians into absolute paroxysms of ecstasy was this one. Emmanuel Keane had revealed its existence in 1997 when he gave the V&A's annual Benjamin Zucker lecture in Mughal art. The 249-carat spinel carries its history on it in a series of inscriptions recording its first owner, Ulugh Beg. Its Safavid owner, Shah Abbas, who gave it to Jahangir in 1621, who then gave it, mounted in a turban jewel, to Shah Jahan. And this famous event is depicted in Shah Jahan's reign, and it's preserved in the Royal Collection's Padshahnama manuscript. Jahangir himself records in his memoirs receiving the gift and reproduces all the inscriptions to date, all of which are exactly those on the spinel done in beautiful calligraphy. Jahangir even records the name of the calligrapher, Saidai Gilani, the Iranian head of the Royal Goldsmiths Department, who held the same position under Shah Jahan. So even on the basis of showing a very few objects that were in the treasury of the World Exhibition, I think it's obvious what a remarkable legacy this is. But it's not just the objects and the catalogue that are the legacy. It's just as much the ethos that suffuses the collection as an institution. Everything is permeated by the generosity of the man who formed it, and equally by that of Sheikh Hussa. Few collections are as willing to lend to other institutions to make images of the highest quality available for research without charge, and particularly to invite scholars from all over the world to work on the collection, facilitated by Chief Curator Sue Kaokji and her staff. All this surely realizes the hope of Sheikh Nasser, expressed in his foreword to a volume of papers given at the exhibition conference and published by the Society of Jewellery Historians. He wrote of his wish that the exhibition and publication will generate a wider public who reverence India's jewellery arts traditions and will result in a never-ceasing enhancement and intensification of scholarly and artistic studies in the area. And I think they really have done. Thank you.